original.
Hello, and welcome to Web Crawlers, the podcast where we do a deep dive into some of our favorite mysteries. Each week, we will introduce our topic, lay out our research and findings, reveal some conspiracy theories, and conclude with our own hypothesis. I'm Allie Siegel.
I'm Melissa Stettin.
And where is producer Maria? Someone in the Discord, or no, maybe it was an Instagram, said that there is a producer Maria sighting.
Oh, at Porto's.
Oh, was that where it was? That's funny.
Yeah, but I believe this was a while ago.
Yeah, this was a while ago. So who knows where she's at now?
She's been
probably
to
not
Porto's.
still in Porto's. Yeah, she has
lives
been to
there
Porto's.
now.
Yeah, she lives it. She's working at Porto's actually. She's making the cakes. Listen, who are our patrons for this week?
We have Isaac B, Brenna, Chloe, and Mari.
Listen, I'm going to guess that it's Isaac and not Isaac.
Did I say Isaac?
Sure did. Darn tootin'.
Isaac. Why would I say that? Sorry.
You're a bimbo. Isaac, welcome to the team.
iMac.
IMAX for Isaac. Guys, welcome. So excited to have you. I ran a poll about what kind of stuff that you guys want on the Patreon. So we will start going in that direction. And it was not Bigfoot erotica. So
That's surprising.
A little bit rude and disappointing
How
that
rude.
you guys think I'm ugly, and that's fine. So it will be more cryptid short videos, stuff about the occult and witchcraft, and then just random stuff about kind of like us reviewing like movies we've watched.
Oh yeah, horror movie reviews was a big thing.
Yeah, and popping off. So we will get started on that. Melissa, I have no idea what it is. What is our episode on today?
Well, this was suggested on a mailbag episode a few weeks ago. Aaron was like, you should do an episode on this Swedish journalist.
Oh, yes.
Who disappeared on a billionaire submarine.
Oh my God, yes. We are so interested about this. I'm so excited.
So that's what's happening today.
Amazing.
Okay, so on August 10th, 2017, 30-year-old Swedish journalist Kim Wall sailed off on a reporting assignment in the Copenhagen harbor with a Danish inventor of the world's largest private submarine called the UC3 Nautilus.
Scary.
But only one of them returned from the journey.
Uh-oh.
And what happened to the submarine? Let's get into it. This just made me hungry because I'm like, submarine sandwich. And I can't eat deli meat because I'm pregnant.
Oh, why? Because there's like weird stuff in it?
You can get listeria from meat.
Oh, shit.
So I haven't had my favorite Godfather sandwich from All About
so
the Bread.
Good. What? I'm curious. This is a tangent. What can't you eat pregnant?
I can't eat raw seafood.
Okay.
Like sushi. I can't eat sushi.
Oh.
Anything that's unpasteurized, like any sort of like
juices,
raw
like you
cheese.
can't have juices.
I have been having some juices.
Okay, yeah.
Because I'm like, I've never gotten sick before. It's just for listeria. It's like food poisoning.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that's, I mean, juice. Like you could do that.
So like if you trust where it's coming from, like you're not going to go eat like supermarket sushi. Like that's a bad idea.
Yes.
But like if meat is heated
always,
up
most of the time.
to like, I think it's like 140 degrees. Like I'll eat pepperoni pizza because it's like cooked.
It's heated. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
And I'm not supposed to drink, or you can drink, it says 2 cups of coffee a day is safe, which is crazy because I drink coffee like once a week now just because.
Oh, that's crazy. Well, now I feel like I can get pregnant if I can still have coffee.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's no, I've read all the studies.
Yeah, I'm sure you have.
Coffee doesn't affect the baby.
Oh,
but yeah,
good.
it's like meat and sushi. That's it.
Interesting. Okay. Can you have like a well-cooked steak or?
Oh yeah, it has to be cooked to a certain temperature.
Okay. Right.
So you just put a little thermometer in there and see what it's
in your butt.
You put it in your butt, and then if it's
and then if
warm
it's a
enough,
certain
you eat the
temperature, it's
steak.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Right.
that's
You could.
yeah.
All right. And I know one of your cravings. But have you had any cravings?
I've been eating olives.
Oh, salt.
Yeah, I've just been eating like olives that have like olive oil on them. I guess
Yeah.
that's redundant, but
No, it's
like
that's
seasoned
interesting.
olives with like salt and pepper.
Oh, that sounds so good. Actually, it's probably because salt is good for if you have like low blood pressure, I think it is, or like
Yeah.
blood circulation. So it's probably like your baby's probably
Yeah.
taking a lot of your blood. So you need it in case you get woozy and stuff like that.
Yeah. That and Taco Bell. are
Yeah,
two
Taco
things.
Bell has been your
I've been trying to lay
mainstay.
off Taco Bell though, because it's not good to eat it twice a week.
Yeah,
Man, just
you're
eating
ordering
olives and Taco Bell.
and Taco Bell. Yeah, the
It's
the perfect
disgusting.
diet. All right. Well, thank you for indulging
Thank
me
you.
in
You're
that.
welcome.
I am honestly really curious. Okay, back to our scheduled program.
Okay. So the submarine. Okay. Kim Wall, this journalist, she was like a smart, vivacious, adventure seeking storyteller. She traveled
Ooh.
constantly for work. She was originally from Sweden. She was an independent journalist and she reported on all sorts of shit like post war Sri Lanka to Cuba's underground tech scene. She worked as a fellow in Uganda.
Jesus.
And her work's been in Harper's, The Guardian, The New York Times, Vice, The Atlantic, Time. Like, she was an amazing freelance journalist.
So she's successful just like we are.
Just like we are. We've both
Yeah.
written for Vice, right?
Yeah, we've all written for Vice.
Yeah. Yeah. So I know I get her.
We get what it's like.
So she was super curious about the world and she was really into like underground stories and was into everything like super weird. So this is why when Kim in 2017, she requested to interview this engineer guy named Peter Madsen. He invited her to come for a ride on his homemade submarine.
Use you?
And so this was like just another crazy story for her, like nothing out of the ordinary. This guy, Peter, had been building private submarines, the first in Danish history. And Kim was interested in writing about his third submarine, the UC Nautilus, which was a mini submarine. Because apparently people just don't go around building their own submarines.
I mean, yeah, like how do you even do that?
Well, this guy figured it out. So in August of that year, Kim secured an interview with this guy who called himself an inventrepreneur.
Oh boy, that's like something you find on Bumble.
Oh, I'm an inventrepreneur. You're a DJ.
Yeah, you live with your parents. But I guess this
Yeah.
guy actually built submarines.
Yeah. So this dude, Peter, he's well known for being very ambitious. He was a rocket and submarine builder. He's given several TED Talks in Lithuania and Ukraine in the past few years. He led a group of Danish individuals in following their lifelong dreams by crowdfunding and building the UC3 Nautilus in 2008. So he built all his stuff by crowdfunding.
That's insane.
Yeah. And the
Has also-
website is still up for the UC3 Nautilus.
What's in it for the people who are crowdfunding for him? Like a
I
free
mean-
ride or
They just scientists and people who think he's like cool, I guess. It's like people who are making movies. Like, oh, you support
Yeah.
their creative work or whatever.
weird?
And this guy had built submarines and rockets. A real Elon Musk, this guy.
I was about to say he's an Elon Musk type.
So there was a dispute with this association that was responsible for the submarine, but apparently Peter became the sole owner of the UC3 Nautilus. And he was also planning on building a rocket to go to space. Like that was his next project.
Oy vey.
Jeff Bezos.
Build a rocket to go to space.
You know, I don't know.
I can't even walk my dogs 3 times a day sometimes because I get so lazy.
You know what movie I watched last night? The Martian.
Oh, interesting.
And
Real
they were
good.
all at JPL, like building rockets and stuff. And I was like, man, it must be cool to be like a rocket scientist.
Yeah, like how do you even? I mean, it's insane the
what do
way
you
your
even
brain must
How do you
work.
even start?
Yeah,
What
it's
kind of metal
crazy.
do you even use to build
Yeah,
a ship?
I was gonna say like I'd be like
Can you use
tinfoil.
screws? Can you use,
Yeah.
do you need a screwdriver? I don't know.
Do you task rabbit it? Like I
Yeah,
just
how do
task
you?
rabbit?
Okay, so August 10th, Kim goes to Peter's workshop and does like a little pre-interview with him. And then she boards the submarine with Peter. She was going to write an article about him for Wired. And she texts her boyfriend from the submarine, quote, "I'm still alive, BTW.
Uh-oh.
And we're going down now. I love you."
Oh God, famous last words.
Yeah. And she was only supposed to be on the sub for a few hours. So Kim's boyfriend got super worried when she didn't return home that night. And she wasn't responding to his texts.
Oh God.
So he called the Coast Guard at 2:30 a.m. that night. And then the Copenhagen police began searching for the submarine around 3:30 a.m. And they sent out an alert that there could have been a possible accident at sea. They're like, oh shit, maybe they sunk.
Yeah.
So they called up this guy named Lars Moller Petersen, commander of the Royal Danish Navy, to get his guys together and search the Copenhagen Sound for the submarine. But there was no sign of it or Kim or Peter anywhere.
Bizarre.
But later that day, they got a call that a helicopter spotted the submarine and there was a man on it who radioed in. He said he was having mechanical problems. He's like, but everything's fine. Just having some mechanical problems. And he was headed back towards Copenhagen.
Weird.
But then suddenly, 3 minutes later, the helicopter called in and said the submarine was sinking.
Suspicious.
They're like, oh fuck, there's this guy on a submarine and it's just started sinking like right when we saw it. And Peter was standing.
Aren't submarines already sunk?
Well, you think. That's what I thought.
How can you tell a submarine is sinking?
They saw it was like it tilted and like was starting to go down. Because normally they go kind of straight. They go straight and it kind of slowly sinks down. But if it like kind of top,
it's toppling.
So then, so Peter was standing on the tower of the submarine and he jumped in the water and down goes the submarine. And then he gets rescued by a boat.
I guess that little thing is supposed to stick out the top of the water.
Yeah,
maybe?
like if it has to be like stable, like level.
Yeah, and maybe that
like
started going down.
It's like like a hot dog.
Yeah, the hot dog style,
like the Titanic style.
Yeah.
So then he got in a boat, and the Navy was suspicious because they're like, that's not what a submarine looks like when it sinks. They said it looked just like a normal submarine dive.
Exactly. I'm like the Navy people.
Yeah, they know. They're like, oh, that's weird. It looked like he intentionally dove the boat down because it sunk so suddenly. They're like, oh, that's weird. It wasn't a gradual sink. It was like, oh, there goes the submarine. And also, why was there only one person on the boat?
Exactly.
So the Navy contacts the police and they're like, we're pretty sure he sunk it on purpose. Like, this is weird. You got to look into this guy.
Oh, shit.
So when Peter got back to shore, the police were there to question him. They asked where Kim was, and he said, she's fine. I dropped her off last night. But they were suspicious of him, and they arrested him. And they got CCTV from the harbor where he claimed he dropped her off, but there was no footage of her. No one saw her get off the submarine. There was nothing. Oh, they're like, oh, this guy is lying.
Yeah.
So the divers go and search this sunken submarine. Because perhaps Kim is like still on it. Maybe she's still alive in the submarine.
Yeah.
So they find it and they see the hatch is open. And they look in all the windows, but no one was on there. There was no Kim, no one.
Fuck.
So the next day, Peter was charged with murder. So the court ruled that he be held in pretrial detention for 24 days on a charge of negligent homicide. So he was there for about a month.
Wow, that went south quickly.
Just like the submarine into the sea.
Sure, exactly.
So they went back out to the submarine in a large ship and they pulled it out of the water and they towed it back to shore to search further for clues. Some of Kim's clothes were on the submarine.
I mean, that's not good.
Yeah, they're like, why? They're like, oh no. Oh no, no, no.
Yeah.
So then 10 days later, Peter changed his story and he said an accident happened on the submarine and Kim died.
No.
But then he didn't say anything. He's like, oh, an accident happened. They're like, okay. So then 10 days after that, on August 21st, 2017, a cyclist discovered a human torso without legs, arms, or a head.
God.
Yeah, it washed up on the shore of Clydesøen, an area south of Copenhagen. And so the investigators did DNA, and they determined that it was the body of Kim Wall.
Jesus Christ. I mean, imagine killing someone and then taking off the legs, arms, and head afterwards. Like, that's insane.
And the torso had been repeatedly stabbed.
Oh, Jesus.
So the medical examiners said they stabbed her either at the time of death or shortly afterwards.
Oh, God.
And a piece of metal had been fastened to it to try to get it to sink.
Oh, God.
Which it didn't work.
Yeah.
So they said Peter Madsen strategically caused wounds near the ribs to keep the body from floating to the surface.
Okay, this isn't this guy's first murder.
That's what everyone's saying.
Oh, really? Because, yeah, if you know how to kill a body to make sure that it doesn't rise to the surface, this is like, yeah.
So examiners reported multiple stab wounds to Kim's genitalia.
Oh, fuck.
Suggesting the murder had sexual assault elements.
Oh, my God.
So on September 5th, which is a few weeks later, Peter goes into court. He gives a whole explanation of what happened. He said the hatch had hit Kim in the head and killed her. And then he lost his grip on this heavy hatch door that fell on her head and killed her. Okay. He said it was a terrible accident, a disaster. No doctor could have done anything. Kim was severely injured. There was a pool of blood where she landed. I touched her neck, but she had no pulse. And then he said he decided to give her a burial at sea, but didn't explain why she was chopped up.
Or why she was sexually assaulted or stabbed in the vagina. Like, what is he going to claim? Some sort of sea creature did that? Like, what a dope.
He's insane. And then, so they spent the next month searching the water, trying to find the rest of her body. They're like, well, it's got to be here somewhere. And this body of water they were in is pretty big. They had maps of where to search, but they couldn't find anything. They had over 500 divers searching 200 acres of this sea.
Jesus.
And then they brought in this sea wind current specialist who calculated that the remains were probably in a totally different location. Oh. And the investigators were like, we're running out of time and resources. Everyone was frustrated. The sea conditions were very rough. But the specialist dude, he was this super nerd who was he's like, the wind was at this many knots this day. It probably dragged her this many feet. It was crazy how exact his calculations were.
Oh my God.
Turned out that's exactly where the rest of her body was.
Wow.
Because they were searching in the completely wrong spot.
area.
And this guy came in. He's like, I'm a current specialist.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll tell you
nerd.
exactly where the body is.
So on October 6th, they found her head and legs in the Koj Bay, which was more than a half mile from where the investigators recovered her torso.
Oh my God.
So the killer deliberately tried to conceal her body because her remains were in plastic bags.
Oh my God.
Someone had filled the bags with scrap metal to weigh down the evidence.
Jesus Christ.
So they identified the victim from dental records. It was Kim. And they found a bag with Kim Wall's clothing, shirt, skirt, socks, shoes, also a knife and lead pieces weighing them down. They found a leg, then another leg, and they found a head, also in a bag weighted down by several metal pieces. And so when they discovered the head, the medical examiner said there were no signs of trauma, which was discrediting Peter's claim that the hatch hit her on the head. They're like, no.
Of course. Duh.
No. So then Peter changed his story again.
Oh my God.
He said he didn't know how Kim died, but he said it was carbon monoxide poisoning.
This guy is
An idiot.
bananas.
He told the police he was on the deck at one point. Kim was in the submarine, and he said she died from, he didn't know how, carbon monoxide poisoning. And the reason he cut up her body is that he had to get her out of the hatch because it was a small opening and he couldn't, I don't know. He couldn't get her out of the submarine.
Didn't she get in there in one piece?
She got in there in one piece. They had a trial in April 2018. Lieutenant commander of the Danish Navy said the officials did not detect carbon monoxide in the submarine.
Obviously.
And that even mild CO2 levels would not pose a serious risk.
Yeah.
They also learned that Peter had been doing a little bit of Googling.
Oh, fuck that. That's weird.
The words beheading, girl, and argony.
What does argony mean?
I believe it's supposed to be agony.
Oh, interesting.
I think he misspelled it.
Oh, God.
He searched those around the time of Kim's death.
So he's a sociopath.
Yes.
Like he's...
Yes. Also, they found out that he had videos of women being murdered on his work computer.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Because they searched his laboratory. They found a computer with video footage of an unknown assailant murdering women. In the video, the assailant strangled and decapitated the victims. It was like torture porn.
Yeah, snuff. So he likes snuff. Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, he's psychotic. This is crazy.
And then he said the computer was used by everyone in the lab and it was not his personal property.
Oh my God. But it was only him and Kim on the boat.
Yes, it was only those two.
I mean, this guy, like...
This guy... So combined with the stab wounds inflicted on Wall's genitalia, the investigators began to suspect relationship between Kim's murder and a torture fetish.
You think? This guy... Oh, God. Let's take a quick break for announcements. Web Crawlers has a Patreon to get access to all of the new things that we have coming out soon, and merchandise discounts, and all of our merch for May and June is going to all of the money that we make is going to be going to Everytown. Please go to patreon.com/webcrawlers. You can donate as little as $2 a month to become a patron. That's like what, $24 for the year, and we would really appreciate it. Please rate and review us on Apple Podcasts so that we can read your reviews on our mailbag episodes. And of course, Erios has a hotline. If you don't have it memorized by now, then who
are you?
We should be your emergency. If you ever go to jail, we're the only number that you're going to have memorized. I don't even have my parents' number memorized.
I don't either. I have no one's number memorized.
No, yeah, because they changed their phone number from when I was a kid, like a few years ago, and I
still remember my phone number as a kid.
Oh, me too. If I get in trouble, I could call my childhood house.
Yeah, whoever lives in my parents' old house, be like, you gotta come to California. I'm in jail.
Yeah, come get me. Yeah, I know them, but not their current number. But I for sure know Erios. So please give us a call. But in case you don't remember it, insert jingle here.
626 604 6262.
Now, back to our scheduled programming.
So they searched the submarine again. They discovered Kim's blood, an array of suspicious tools. There was a sharpened 20-inch screwdriver, a saw, a hose, and straps.
Oh, fuck. Like, this guy is like a murderer.
Yeah. So they questioned whether he was planning Kim's murder. He said on the stand that he needed the hose for cleaning purposes. He needed the screwdriver to use as a marker for diving, and he needed the saw to build some shelves. He said he didn't have plywood for the shelves because he planned to bring it with him the next time he was aboard the submarine. And then some witnesses were like, the screwdriver wouldn't need to be sharpened to act as a diving marker. Like, you don't just sharpen a screwdriver. You don't need to do that. And the submarines don't need woodwork. Like, there was nothing.
Yeah, I'm like, what is it? Like a kitchen? Like, you don't need like floating shelves.
No.
What?
So
this is like Saw or like Hostel. Like, this is the horror movie.
Yeah, it's crazy. So the Copenhagen law enforcement charged him with premeditated murder, in addition to the indecent handling of a corpse and sexual assault.
I didn't even know that was a charge. Indecent handling of a corpse.
Yeah, isn't it like if you see a corpse and like you don't dispose of it properly, like you don't call people or something, it's like illegal.
I mean, I feel like that could be a charge in all murders then.
Yeah, maybe that is a charge in all murders.
Yeah.
So this journalist, May Jong of Wired, she contacted Camilla Ladegard Svendsen, who's an old friend of Peter's. Svendsen told Jong that Peter frequently attended quote-unquote relaxed sexual fetish parties. And apparently Peter would attend these parties dressed in naval attire. And this guy, Robert Fox, who's a filmmaker who worked with Madsen on a 2009 documentary called My Private Submarine, he often played a role in Peter Madsen's seduction strategies.
Oh, he definitely like came on to Kim and she said no. And
yeah, she had a boyfriend and was not interested in him at all.
Yeah. And then he just like went nuts. Oh.
So in addition to watching numerous fetish films, Peter had a membership to a BDSM club. Then a member of the private sex club, Det Sorte Selskab, also testified that Peter joined the BDSM sex club and was later kicked out because he seemed fascinated but not turned on.
Yeah, it probably wasn't hardcore enough for him. He likes snuff. Like he likes women to die at the end of it. Ugh.
Yeah. Apparently he was married, but he had an open marriage. His wife was gonna testify, but then she was dismissed, and then she has chosen to remain anonymous.
I would too. These psychos are always married.
Yeah. Then some women that he dated testified in this trial. They showed text messages from him that were like fetish related. Like, I want to fuck you and choke you and tie you up. Like some Army Hammer shit. I was
gonna say, this is like Army Hammer shit. Oh, God.
And he actually texted women trying to get them to go on his submarine with them before Kim. Like, would invite them on the submarine. And no one went with him.
I honestly bet like he made this submarine because it's like the perfect alibi.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, women, people can't hear women scream. Like it's totally isolated. Oh,
it's so weird. So some of the reporting around the case was like very sexist.
I'm sure.
Like some of the articles were like, well, why were her clothes left on the submarine? Why did she take her clothes off? And why did she choose to go with this guy on this mad scientist on his ship? And like, why did she put herself in this position? Like blaming her.
Oh my God, like why didn't she ask to keep her clothes on while she was raped?
Yeah,
like,
crazy.
It was crazy.
Crazy. And then Peter had a psychiatric evaluation during the trial. He was determined to have little to no empathy and extreme narcissism.
Sociopath.
Yes.
Well, I don't want to say that, but I think like anyone who, never mind, just keep going.
Anyone who's a billionaire, you got problems.
Yeah, anyone who does this sort, like you can't have. You can't be normal. You can't be a normally adjusted person and like do this shit. It's just
like super rich.
The murder shit.
Yeah.
Like just like I'm gonna build a rocket and go into space. Like you're not normal. Sorry. Like it's just weird.
Yeah, you don't get rich by being a nice, well-adjusted person. Like you get rich by being like evil, like super, like Jeff Bezos rich. Like you don't care
like
about
there's some bodies in your wake.
Yeah. So the exact cause of Kim's death is still unknown. The prosecution said that her death could have taken place by cutting of the throat or strangulation. And when Peter looked for torture videos online, his most common searches were throat, girl, and pain.
Ew, yeah, like he wanted it to hurt. Like he gets all, I'm sure that that's why the BDSM thing wasn't, because I mean, the foundation of BDSM is essentially like consent,
right?
You know? And like, I'm sure that that's why he didn't get off on it. Like he wanted it to hurt. Like
weirdo. So he was ultimately convicted on April 25th, 2018. They found him guilty and sentenced him to life in prison.
Good.
His lawyer said he would appeal the verdict, but the courts denied his appeal.
Good.
Against his life sentence. However, unlike the US, life sentences in Denmark typically extend to only 17 years.
What? That's insane. How is that a life sentence then?
I don't know. That's the law in Denmark. I mean, I can't imagine he would ever be let out of prison. 17 years, that's nothing.
Yeah, especially how old is he to begin with? Like in his 30s or 40s?
Yeah, he was, I think, 40-ish.
Yeah, like he's still, 17 years isn't enough to be rehabilitated, if ever, for sociopathy?
Psychopathy?
Psychopathy?
Sociopathy. That's a word.
The technical term.
But he might remain in prison for the rest of his life because in 2020, he tried to escape prison.
What? This guy.
So he escaped the Herstedvester prison on the western outskirts of Copenhagen, and they captured this on video.
Oh, I bet that was exciting.
There's a video of it. He used a fake gun. He wore a fake explosive belt. He threatened prison staff. He made it about a half mile outside the prison.
Wow.
Before he was captured by police officers.
Where did he get a fake gun and did he like make it?
I guess he just made
paper?
It and then like threatened prison guards and like, toilet paper gun,
Yeah, cardboard. Like what?
So he was sentenced again. And then this was a weird fact. He had to pay 20,000 kroners, which is about $3,200, to a psychologist whom he threatened to kill during the escape attempt.
Interesting.
Yeah, okay, sure.
Okay. Yeah, here's
so he's probably
trouble.
So that for sure added some time onto his life sentence when you escape prison.
Yeah, I hope so.
So Kim's friends and family, they remember her as this passionate young journalist committed to pursuing her curiosity. Kim's mother, Ingrid, posted a statement in which she described her daughter as someone who gave voice to the weak, vulnerable, and marginalized people. That voice had been needed for a long, long time, and now it has been silenced, unfortunately.
That is so fucking
And
horrible.
There's a Kim Wall Memorial Fund for female journalists.
Oh, good. We should donate to that.
Such a bummer, because she
in honor of this episode
was 30, and she was like already going to like Uganda and like Cuba, and was like doing all these amazing articles about all this stuff, and then this fucking
she had
crazy dude,
such a bright future.
Yeah,
don't interview these dudes who are don't give any time to these fucking guys.
Like it's all like they're clearly all weird narcissists. Like, I'm gonna go to space, I'm gonna build my own rocket ship. Like, no, no, I don't trust them.
I don't trust it either. How disgusting. Well, I hope he is in jail forever and ever and ever. And we will definitely donate to this fund. And wow, what a great episode and what a great suggestion. And how many twists and turns. How crazy. Melissa, if people have other great suggestions like this, where can people reach us?
You can email us at webcrawlers@gmail.com.
All right. Well, I am Allie Siegel.
I am Melissa Stettin.
And thank you for listening. Bye.
Bye.
original.
Powered by ACAST.